Erev Tov Rabotai, we're continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Kilayim. We're up to Perek Chet Mishnah Gimel. We're continuing discussing the Kilayim of animals, specifically the prohibition to work with a team that consists of two types of animals. Mishnah Gimel starts, Hamanhig Sofeget Arba'im. Someone who leads a team of different species receives 40 lashes. Why? Because he violated the Torah prohibition of Kilayim of animals, and we know that lashes are the standard punishment for violating a Torah prohibition. And even someone who simply sits in a wagon that is pulled by two different species receives the 40 lashes. Why? Because by sitting in the wagon, he causes the animals to move and pull the wagon together, even if he doesn't actively drive them. The Doshim explain, when animals harnessed to a wagon sense the weight of a person in the wagon, they begin to move. So therefore, even if a person just is sitting in the wagon and doesn't pull on the reins, he causes the animals to do the work of pulling the wagon. Rabbi Meir poter. However, Rabbi Meir exempts a person who sits in a wagon that is led by two different animals, because according to Rabbi Meir, a person who simply sits in a wagon and he doesn't take the reins is not liable to any lashes because he did not do any action. And the Rab tells us, and the halacha ki Rabbi Meir, the halacha is not like Rabbi Meir, the halacha is like the Tanakama, that even sitting in the wagon that is pulled by two different species, he would get 40 lashes. And the Mishnah continues, V'ashlishit shi kishura le'utzuot. If two animals of the same type are harnessed to a wagon, and a third animal of a different type is tied to their straps, asura, then this team is forbidden to lead, because even though the third animal is not needed to pull the wagon, nevertheless it is helping out and is still combines to form Kilayim. Now Rabotai and Farshim explain that two horses are enough really to pull a wagon, but if the third animal is attached, the wagon will go faster. Therefore, the third animal is working together with the other two, and that makes Kilayim. Even though you have two animals that are harnessed to the wagon, and the third animal is just tied to their straps, since he makes it easier for them, he makes the wagon to go faster, he's working together with them, that is called Kilayim of animals. Mishnah Daled starts, En koshrin et asus lo litztadei karon v'lo la'achar karon. If oxen are pulling a wagon, a person is not allowed to tie a horse to the side of the wagon or to the back of the wagon. Now, the Mefarshim explain that it was very common to tie a horse to the side or the back of a wagon in order to get the horse used to running while tied to a wagon. It would be like a form of training. It trained it to pull a wagon. So the Mishnah says that if you have oxen pulling the wagon, you cannot tie a horse to the side of the wagon or the back of the wagon, because even though the horse tied to the side or the back does not pull the wagon, at times it pushes the wagon along and it helps them move. Therefore, it's considered to be working together with the oxen, and that is Kilayim. Velo et haluvdekim legimalim. A person is not allowed to harness a luvdekim, which Mepharshim explain is a large animal that resembles a camel with other camels, because even though a luvdekim looks like a camel, it is in fact a type of donkey and cannot be harnessed together with the camel. The Mishnah now is going to explain how Kilayim of animals applies to two mules, which is the hybrid offspring of a horse and a donkey. Rabbi Yehuda says, all mules born from female horses, even though their fathers are donkeys, they are permitted to be worked with one another. And the Mefarshim explain, since every mule is half horse and half donkey, one might have thought that there are no two mules that can be worked together, because the horse half of one mule will be working with the donkey half of the other mule. Therefore, the Mishnah says that the status of the animal is determined only by its mother, meaning we don't really care about the father's species. If two mules have the same type of mother, they are considered the same species and they can be worked together. Likewise, all mules born from female donkeys, even though their fathers are horses, they are permitted to be worked with one another. However, mules born from a female horse and mules born from a female donkey are forbidden to be worked with one another, even though they are both mules, because that, like we said, the species of the animal is determined by its mother, and therefore only mules with the same species of mother can be worked together. We learned earlier in Mishnah Aleph that regarding crossbreeding, mules with different species of mother are considered different species. Our Mishnah is teaching us that the same applies regarding working different types of animals. Only hybrids of the same exact combination can be worked together. That is the end of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.